there for now. Thanks for joining us on this edition of the Road to the Final Four. I'm Andrea Joyce. Brent and Billy will be back after a message and a word from your local station.
Welcome back to Syracuse for the second half. In the first half, we had the lead change hands 15 times with the Orangemen leading Notre Dame by a point. Billy Packer 30-29. So how is this one unfolding?
Well, I think Digger Phelps had a great game plan. His team is executing it extremely well. And if you're Syracuse, they're giving you the outside shot. Edwards and Owens 3 for 12 between the two of them, basically from the perimeter. Syracuse has to find somebody that can stick that shot, or else they'll never get this game going their tempo.
Billy, here is the shooting for the first half. Notre Dame hitting 51 for the season. Again, only 36% here in the first half. Rebounding, though, the Irish have a 2-rebound advantage, 20-18. The leading scorers, Robinson for Notre Dame and Thompson for Syracuse with 8 points apiece. And again, Billy, we should point out that they are playing this game with 5 personal fouls instead of 6. They used 6 in the Big East. And in talking to both coaches and officials, especially Jim Boeheim, they really like the 6-foul rule. They say it removes the pressure from both coaches and officials.
Well, I think it'd be great for Notre Dame in this game for the simple reason that they've got to have Ellis in the game and Robinson in the game. They both have 2 fouls. Digger wisely took them out in the first half when they got their second, so he was able to save them. But with the 6-foul rule, that wouldn't have been a problem.
For Syracuse, not shooting well from the perimeter, as Billy pointed out. Owens only 1 of 5, and Edwards 2 of 7. Edwards has the ball. Syracuse in the home whites. This is Owens. Thompson down on the inside along with Coleman, and now Thompson over on the left wing.
Brent, Coleman only had 4 shots in the first half. I think he needs to step up to the foul line and get some shots.
Edwards is not bashful. That's his 8th, and Coleman up over the top, reaching for his first personal foul.
That was, in my mind, a great rebound. His hands are going to be extended. Now, he might have caught him a little bit with the body, but watch this extension by Derek. Where does he make a foul on that play? I didn't see it.
Actually, he was pushed earlier in the sequence. So Notre Dame comes down now with its first possession. 12 is Elmer Bennet, who drew the starting nod from Coach Phelps. This is Frederick, who played well in the first half, joining him in the backcourt. Robinson, the leading scorer, 50, down on the inside.
You can see Syracuse trying to pick up the tempo with their defense, man-to-man.
Frederick negotiating and got the roll.
Nice roll, and a good roll up by Joe because he saw Ellis coming from the weak side to block.
Giving the Irish an early 1-point lead here in the second half. Leron Ellis. Notre Dame's ball. Williams, the freshman, off now to Bennett.
Brent, talking about Coleman. See, if they put Coleman on that foul line, got Stevie Thompson down inside, just inverted the 2 positions, I think they could really get something going offensively.
Frederick with 9 points on the bounce pass. They move it to Robinson. 10 points for the game. Leading score. And the lead goes to 3, and right away, Boeheim says, we'll take a timeout. So we'll be right back to Syracuse in just a moment. In excess of 30,000 on hand for this game between Notre Dame and Syracuse, and a lot of similarities between the 2 head coaches. Digger Phelps and Jim Boeheim both grew up in New York State, and both are the sons of undertakers. Now, we knew about Digger Phelps, that's how he got his nickname. But Jim Boeheim said, well, back in the old days, my father was in the furniture business, and everyone who was in the furniture business also made caskets.
But one buried them, one built them.
33-30, Notre Dame with the lead. Syracuse with the ball.
X zone dropping back tighter and tighter every time.
Coleman has it rejected beautifully by Alfonso Ellis, and Bennett puts it down, coming up inside of Edwards with a great left-handed driving layup for Notre Dame and a 5-point lead.
You can see why Digger likes Bennett in that lineup, because Singleton just didn't give them any of that offensive production.
Well, Syracuse is going to struggle with a freshman point guard, aren't they? Whoa.
Well, they've been 5-1 with him in there, but you can see Derek making the move here. Alfonso Ellis, who's having a great basketball game today in terms of the overall production, comes up with a perfect block. Double low post. Ellis open.
Off the fake into the middle.
He is a fine basketball player.
Boy, is he?
He really is a good one. And you have to figure out almost all of the first month and a half of the season.
The triple
To get it.
rattling out, and Ellis yanks down rebound number 9. It's a 7-point Notre Dame lead. Biggest of the afternoon for the Irish. 17 minutes to go. A victory here against Syracuse, and you would just about have to pencil Notre Dame into the NCAA tournament. That's how important this one is. They're sitting on a 13-8 record, looking for a big-time win. Syracuse attempting to get that transition game on the roll, and Notre Dame gets back into it this time with a great defensive effort by Bennet. The freshman, Williams, drew the foul. Bennet was wide open, Billy. He could have laid it up when the defensive man left him, but instead he passed it off.
Williams hurt himself on the way down. I'm not so sure he didn't hyperextend his knee a little bit, but this is an excellent fake that time by Bennet because he has a great shot blocker
was the
against
layup.
him. Yeah, but you know that play could have worked easily too if Williams just lays it up on the backboard, limping a little bit. He's having a rough game shooting wise. The first half just 2 for 7. Second shot he's missed in the second half. Manning coming into the ball game now. Jimmy Boeheim looking to try to get some help on the inside, but his real problem has been in that backcourt. And that's nothing new.
Well, Notre Dame's in position, Billy. We've talked now for several weeks that the Irish needed a quality win, and they certainly have a chance here this afternoon.
And that was just a sloppy pass on a break. And look at Digger. He's saying, we got to believe. You think he's into this game?
You bet. He's into it now.
He's working on 5 straight trips to the NCAA tournament. On his 400th game this year as a coach. See, Coleman's open right there. He can get that all day long, either right in front of him, the back man in the zone, or move up to the foul line.
Pulls the Orangeman back to within 7. 39-32.
That was only his 6th shot of the day.
The crowd much more alive right now. I'm not sure that they took Notre Dame too seriously when this one was starting. Frederick on the drive. Williams, and actually too much muscle underneath. He and Ellis, if just one of them had gone up with a softer touch, they'd have had the field goal. Manning, who's on the floor for the first time, up the court to Thompson, who's short, and another rebound for Notre Dame. Here's Frederick.
No place to go. No place to go.
Drew the foul, and he'll come up to the free throw line.
When the crowd starts to get the frenzy going right here in your Notre Dame, you've kept the crowd out of the game so far. You can see Digger's making that move right now to his players. Don't bring them back in the game by creating fast breaks. And if you miss that shot, you're right back into Syracuse's game. So it was in his best interest to pull it back out.
Hopkins seemed to be checking back in. Here comes number 33, Mike Hopkins. Now he will move to the point with Edwards, who has struggled here this afternoon, sitting down.
Well, a man that Jimmy Boeheim would like to have had up here, Lou Harvey, setting it on fire down at St. John's this last week, probably be the Big East Player of the Week, if not already named.
Thompson, and he's fouled by Williams. Temperature down in that Florida City in the 80s today. Gets away from Thompson. Syracuse turns it over. That's the 9th of the afternoon.
Syracuse trying to turn up the tempo with full court pressure. So far ineffective.
Frederick in on Manning. Gets it back to Ellison. Here's Robinson. He'll shoot free throws after the foul by Manning.
Now, there was a case, Manning's not the shot blocker that is Coleman, who was waiting on the break the last time down. I think it would have been wise to take the ball right into Manning.